nope, you haven't seen me yet. Like, you haven't seen a DK Metcalf in the league yet. So I'm just gonna be me, go in there and just, do it.
What do you mean we haven't seen you yet? I mean, we haven't seen you personally, but from the Jerry Rices of the world to the T.O.s of the world to the Randy Mosses of the world to the Calvin Johnson of the world.
Julio Jones,
I'm
the big
just
strong
saying,
dude.
so I'm saying, what is it that you're going to add that they never provided?
You haven't seen a 6'3", 230, run a 4.33 with a 40.5-inch vertical.
No, I haven't seen that.
No, I haven't seen that.
You seen that?
I haven't seen that either. That's a good point.
Stop playing with my name. All three of y'all, stop playing with my name. I ain't gonna say it no more.
That sounds like, to me, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like to me you're trying to be the best wideout ever.
Yeah.
That's my goal.
Can you spot DK in this picture? If you are on Twitter early 2019, I'm sure you saw this viral tweet of him. What blew my mind was finding out that he was a wide receiver. Like, it just didn't make any sense. Raiders coach John Gruden even joked at the combine when he saw the shirtless photo of DK. He said it made him go straight to the weight room to work on his own physique. But how did he even get to this stature? Let me be the first to tell you, it wasn't easy. He had all the odds against him leading up to this point. There's a lot of people that just counted me out and said I wasn't going to be able to do the things that I did, Metcalf said. Stay tuned to figure out what the rise was like for DK Metcalf. DeKaylin Metcalf was born on December 14, 1997 in Oxford, Mississippi. At 5 years old, his father got him a kid-sized weight set with a small barbell and equipped with a 10-pound, 5-pound, and 2.5-pound plates. DK could bench 50 pounds and squat 100 pounds just at 5 years old. At the time, his father Terrence was an offensive lineman who was just starting his NFL life with the Chicago Bears, so DK has always been around football. Terrence would bring DK into the locker room as the Bears celebrated some wins. He had a front row seat as his dad made his dreams a reality. He was also afforded the opportunity to jumpstart his own journey as a football player. DK and his father bonded by working out together. They worked out every day once his father got home from practice. Me just being young and wanting something to do and just happy to see my dad after practice, that was just something that we did together. I believe that's what made me want to do it so much. When DK was about 10 years old, as the family returned to Oxford, with Terrence's playing days winding down, it was DK's turn to start training for his football career.
It's been a dream of mine to play in the NFL since I watched my dad when they won the NFC Championship against the Saints in '06, and just seeing him and the rest of the team in that atmosphere at a real NFL game, that's when I really wanted to play.
The two would wake up in the morning and head to Ole Miss to run stadiums. Terrence said, as it progressed, he just started outrunning me and outworking me. As much as I pushed him, it got to the point where he was competing against me to prove to me that I was never going to be able to be faster than him again or run longer than him. I seen the shift and I saw how hard he was working. But little DK wouldn't even put on a helmet and shoulder pads until he was 12 years old. Terrence was concerned if DK started too early that he might get a coach who would turn him off to the sport. But once DK finally got a taste of that field, he knew he wanted to make a career out of it like his dad had. He was far beyond his conditioning and training than the other kids due to all the previous work he put in with his father. Fast forward to high school, he attended Oxford High School in Oxford, Mississippi. He made the varsity as a freshman and played all 4 years, first on the defensive side as a safety, then at wide receiver. DK was a three-sport athlete. He ran track and played basketball as well. He never had an off-season, so he would come in before school sometimes as early as 6 a.m. and would train on his own when he was in season to make sure he was doing what he needed to do to be where he needed to be physically, said Oxford head coach Chris. There's not many high school athletes that are willing to work like he worked. DK went from long and skinny as a freshman to a kid in a shredded man's body, as Russell, his strengthening coach, described him. By the summer before his senior season, he could squat 500 pounds and bench 275 pounds and deadlift 585 pounds. DK deadlifted 495 5 times as his teammates and coach watched, leaving them shocked. Also during his senior year, DK's father joined the coaching staff of the football team as the new D-line coach. "I didn't take the job lightly," Terrence said. "I'm a professional at the offensive line, but I know what it takes to defeat me. Our defensive line is our strength for the first time in a long time over in Oxford."
Went through it all, made it to the top level, so he knows what it takes to get there, and all of the tips and everything that he's taught me is really, it's really a blessing that I have him in my life.
The senior season is about seeing this whole entire class through, you know what I'm saying, and have my own position. It gives me an opportunity to do something that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and that's coach young people.
Following his burst onto the scene as a varsity starter, his freshman year, DK walked a path nearly identical as his father. Both were ranked as a #1 player in the state at points during their high school careers. Also, the second father-son duo behind Steve McNair and Steve McNair Jr. to hold the Dandy Dozen nod. During his high school football career, he had 224 receptions for 3,302 yards and 49 touchdowns. Regarded as a 4-star prospect, Metcalf was ranked the number 14th wide receiver by Rivals. A USA Army and Max Prep's All-American selection, listed as the number 70 overall recruit and the 5th best in Mississippi, which would garner him football offers from Cal, UCLA, Nebraska, Auburn, and a few more. But sticking true to his father's footsteps, he attended Ole Miss, deciding he would rather be a hometown fork hero than play for a school he had no long-standing connection with. As a freshman at Ole Miss in 2016, he appeared in the first 2 games of the season, scoring touchdowns in each. Then he suffered a foot injury which ended his season. He was granted a red shirt following the injury, which was just his first injury to his shortened college career. But let me just show you what type of guy DK is. Following that toe injury, a few days after the game, Aslan's, one of DK's professors, class was scheduled to meet on a Tuesday morning, and after checking his email, he didn't expect DK to be in attendance. He said, "I got an email an hour before class was supposed to start from athletics that said, 'Please excuse DK from class today. He has surgery this morning on his foot.' With 120 students in the class, the lesson will go on as planned for Aslan like any other day. But as he scanned over the students, he couldn't help but notice the 6'3", 220 Metcalf had snuck in class after all. Well, at first, I didn't notice DK. Normally, he sat up front of the big auditorium. I saw him after class on one of them little scooters to keep his leg off the ground, and he's motioning me up to the top of the auditorium. He asks, 'Hey, can you scan me in for attendance?' Aslan responded, 'Yeah, but what are you doing here? I got an email saying you weren't supposed to come to class this morning.' Metcalf replied, 'Yeah, that petty not keeping me from coming to class. A little toe injury not gonna keep me from learning.' That just goes to show his character. Metcalf was different. He was the same person on and off the field. Next season, in 2017, he played and started in all 12 games, had 39 receptions for 646 yards and 7 touchdowns, which ranked also 7th in the SEC. He made the SEC All-Freshman team, and in Week 10, he was the SEC Co-Freshman of the Week. During the 2018 season, Metcalf had 26 receptions for 569 yards before sustaining a season-ending neck injury against Arkansas. Prior to the injury, he was ranked 4th in the SEC with 5 touchdowns and 3rd in the conference for receiving yards.
It was on kickoff return. I got hit under my chin. They thought it was a stinger and like it was going to go away, but it didn't go away like after 20 minutes. I went in the locker room, changed, and I came back out with a neck brace on. They took x-rays, said I was fine, but I ain't found out until the next day that I had actually broken.
Thought I wasn't going to be able to play football again.
You thought it was over?
Yeah. First doctor told me that it was over. Then we had to run some more tests. But just thankful to God that he gave me another opportunity.
He was mainly used as a deep ball threat in the offense. Pause. As he averaged nearly 19 yards per reception. After his 2018 season, Metcalf declared for the 2019 NFL Draft, foregoing his last 2 eligible years of college football. He finished his career with 67 receptions for 1,228 yards and 14 touchdowns. His 14 touchdowns receptions are 9th all-time in program history. He was a risk taker. Not having that much film but still declaring for the draft was risky, but that man was on a mission. The upside to the neck injury is it allowed him to get a head start on his combine prep. Most prospects get 8 weeks to train. After healing and cleared to train again, he spent 12 weeks at Exos, where he worked to become this internet sensation. Nick Hill, a performance specialist at Exos, liked working with DK. They made adjustments to his diet, taking away his guilty pleasure, strawberry milk.
I've been on a strawberry milk diet since I've been training, so this is the first time I've had one in 3 months. Yes, ma'am. I love strawberry milk. I've been drinking it for like 2 years now.
Freshman, when I couldn't go to sleep, I just went to the gas station one night and got a bottle of strawberry milk and it put me right to sleep. So I just started drinking it.
And was feeding him more vegetables than he has ever eaten in his life, and put him on an intense high-tech training regimen, said Hill. DK's body fat went from 5% at the start of the combine prep down to 2% right before he left for Indianapolis, ready to make a statement for all the dollars out there.
No, I'm not supposed to be here right now because of my neck injury last year, but just to be able to have this opportunity just to perform is just all a blessing.
DK finished in the 90th percentile in nearly every test at the combine, from his 134-inch broad jump to his 40.5-inch vertical jump. He benched 225 27 times, tied for the top among receivers, and he ran a 4.3, the second best time in the position group. The 4.3 time not only drew responses on social media from the likes of Patrick Mahomes and Jerry Rice, but it helped elevate him to the level of a first-round pick.
Your stock has shot up after what you did out here, and you have everybody talking.
Yeah,
you have Patrick Mahomes.
Oh my God.
Chiming in. 4.33.
Like Patrick Mahomes, I think he was a NFL MVP this year. Just for him to, just call my name out is great.
What DK accomplished was clear, and the emotions spilled out as he walked off the track to FaceTime his mom. He called me and he was crying, Tanya said.
And it was emotional. This means so much to so many people. That's awesome. Way to go, DK. That's some serious hard work paying off.
Despite his size, speed, collegiate performance, when healthy, Metcalf's route running was called into question, and his surprisingly slow 3-cone drill time during the combine became a red flag for many teams. Don't believe me? Well, believe this. His testing drill was slower than Tom Brady, the guy with the most memorable 40 time of all time.
Boy, if you don't get...
It was kinda obvious the Seahawks had some kind of interest in DK when Pete Carroll went shirtless with him while meeting at the combine.
Well, I was surprised that he came into our interview with his shirt off, and it kind of pissed me off, so I took my shirt off too. Not for long though.
Yeah.
DK was selected by the Seahawks in the second round with the 64th pick overall, the 9th of 28 wide receivers.
Hello.
DK.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's John Schneider with Seattle Seahawks.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, bud?
Good.
You doing all right? Hey,
Yes,
man,
sir.
get fired up. We're gonna make you a Seahawk right here, okay? You all right, bud? All right, man. Congratulations. I just chilled.
Try to get it in, all right?
Why y'all wait this long, man?
I know you had to wait a little bit, but that doesn't matter because you come to Seattle, man. You're gonna play with the Seahawks, and you're gonna catch footballs from Russell Wilson.
When I finally heard those words, it's like when everything went away and I got super excited.
How do you feel about the critique, the evaluation that they gave you at the NFL Scouting Combine? They did question your ability on the next level to run routes. They were talking about you like that.
You know, a lot of people got a lot of things to say about me when they haven't even seen me, you know, at the next level yet. And, you know, I'm just going to keep my head down and just continue to keep God first and just continue to do what I do.
On May 22nd, 2019, he signed a 4-year deal worth $4 million. Metcalf proved himself to be one of the most productive rookie wide receivers in the NFL in 2019. He made an immediate impact on the Seattle's offense, racking up 58 receptions for 900 yards and 7 touchdowns. He was a playoff maker as well, gaining 219 yards and a touchdown with only 11 receptions. He shattered a rookie single-game playoff record with 160 receiving yards in a wild-card win over the Eagles. Metcalf ran smart routes, avoiding quick cuts that are undeniably difficult for tall receivers. Instead, he used his height and speed to bolt ahead, putting cornerbacks on skates with still unpredictable routes. 2020 so far, he has shown out in the most positive way ever. 36 receptions for 680 yards and 7 touchdowns at the time of this recording. And I'm sure you've seen the effort on this play.
It was unbelievable how much ground he made up. That had to be 10 yards on in the big screen. He's looking up at the screen going, are you kidding me? What is this trailing me?
Like I've told you guys, he's one of the best players in the league. He's one of the most special guys I know. He's one of my best friends, and I really respect him. Not just because of his effort on that particular play, but that's who he is.
He is made up of a different type of DNA and strives for greatness. There's a reason why he always the last player off the practice field, catching passes from the jug machine until he's forced to leave. At this point, it's like, what can he not do? But there's only one question left. Is he the 2020 version of Calvin Johnson? And will he go down as one of the greatest of all times? We can only wait to find out.
You're trying to be the best wideout ever.
Yeah.
That's my goal.